Welcome to the J.Gerrard show, everybody. It's a new week. Thank y'all for
Yep,
coming
yep.
back. Elijah, Disco, we in the studio again. It's
Yes,
been a while
sir.
since we've been in here, so was kind of trying to get everything together. Go ahead and give your friend and your neighbor a call. Let them know we back on tonight. It's a
Mm-hmm.
live episode, not a rerun or something else. I know some people said, "Man, I looked for you last week and you went on there," but
We back.
we back. We back. What you been up to?
Man, I've been busy working.
Yeah.
Like everybody know me. When I'm busy, I'm working for stuff for the family, stuff for my sons, and
Right.
just taking care of my family. That's what I do.
Right.
My grind on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay. Well, me, I've been kicking it. I had a
yeah.
birthday a week ago, so I
Mm-hmm.
just been enjoying it and kind of kicking back another year, celebrating another year.
How that feel? How,
Right.
how that another year
Right.
feel?
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Right. Right. Oh man. Oh well, it
Well,
feels great.
do it.
No, it feel great. It feel great. It feel great. I ain't gonna say how old I am on the air. People that follow me on social media probably know, but I
Right,
put it
right,
out there.
right.
But yeah, I think thank God for another year
Yep.
life. Yeah, felt good. Got out of town, got to chill,
Yeah.
ate some big, got some sun,
Yeah.
and just celebrated it. But it's good to be back in the studio. Tonight we're gonna be talking about a lot of different things, but I did want to talk about something first. And yeah, I'm wearing my shades because I'm still celebrating. I have my
Hmm.
birthday was February 27th, so I always celebrate up to the 8th. I had a very dear friend of mine, one of my very best friends that passed on my birthday, and his birthday was on the 8th,
Oh
and that
wow.
was Chief of Jamaica Davis. So I just wanted to mention him and to remember him tonight on the show. His birthday was March the 8th, and say to him, you are always in my thoughts. And I thank God. I mean, the funny thing about it is, I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, that guy, he would have been the one person that would have really loved because he had the cap game. Like
Really?
he could sit down and talk to, and that was just the thing with me and him. Anytime we was in the same room, it was always just that energy,
Mm-hmm.
because he had that cap game, and I know, or I feel in some place, when I was thinking about, after being off for 2 weeks and
Yeah.
thinking, I thought about him and how he would be looking at this opportunity and
Mm-hmm.
how he would be taking it. You know what I mean? Because this dude, he was a star. He was a star. He was a star. So, Chifa, Jamaica Davis, just remembering you today on the show, sharing that thought with the audience.
That's
Um,
what's up.
but back to some other things I wanted to mention first. We're going to be doing I don't know if I've mentioned it. I hadn't talked to it a lot about it in detail on the
Mm-hmm.
show. I've mentioned it from time to time. But in the year 2020, God enabled us to be able to start a nonprofit. Whereas my barbershop had been in the Ackworth area for like 10 years, and we
Mm-hmm.
was doing the stuff and different things in the community, back to school drives and a lot of different things, and just really felt led of the spirit to go ahead and to form the nonprofit, arm to be able to do things,
Mm-hmm.
outside of the barbershop, and to be able to solicit the support of the community. So that's what we have done. I want to talk tonight just for a second about our kids club. We do this every, I think it's second. It'll either be the 14th or the 5th. It's every second Monday or third Monday
Mm-hmm.
of every month. It's a reading club, where the parents can bring the kids out, drop them off, and they're with other kids. And as you can see here on the flyer, that we
Mm-hmm.
do social distance. These events are, you can take advantage and sponsor an event. Our sponsor for last month was the. Let me make sure I read this right because I can't really see the screen all the way over there. Oh, you gonna swell it up for me? Yeah, give me some old man. Okay, but The Queen of Massage ATL, the six-figure spa chick, was the sponsor for this month. And what you can do is go to the website that we have listed there is www.communitycoreinc.com. And there'll be information there how you can participate, how you can donate, if you want to register and bring your kid out if you're in the area. And it's not just a book club. It's a lot of things we do from different times. We do arts, crafts, just spending time, investing that time back with the kids. And that's one of the things that, I thank God this opportunity, this platform, allow opportunity for us to be able to talk about stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's going on in the community. I've been knowing disco, like we always say, for over 20 years. And I've seen, it's just what we do.
Right.
I've known this dude do food drives, collecting turkeys and all kind of stuff for years. And even right now doing a football camp.
Oh, yeah?
On the weekends, just to put all of that stuff out there, y'all. We ain't just sitting here talking about it. We out there trying to do something about it. So, look us up on the social media, DISCO100 Radio, DISCO100, J.Gerrard 2020, or you can look at King James 2020 on Instagram. And I know you on there too, Elijah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so all of that. But that event will be taking place. We got the shop up there now at the barbershop, and that's at 4974 Cowan Road. So bring the kids out, everybody. We're gonna be social, distancing and doing all of that. The mask is gonna be required. You can go to the website, register your kids. They're gonna do arts and crafts, and share a story. It's gonna be something that the kid will not forget.
Right.
And the purpose to it is to support literacy, and also, get our kids sparked back into learning again, because the school year is kind of interrupted and it's kind of difficult, but this is an opportunity to make learning fun for them to where, they don't feel like they're operating from behind or from, it feels so strange to them.
Right.
So that's that. We appreciate everybody listening to the blah blah blah, but that's all the real stuff, y'all. That's all the real stuff, y'all. Tonight we're gonna be talking about
why did I get married? And I want you to know. I want you to. The conversation came up, and I was in.
Why did I get married?
It
why
came
I got
up.
married is,
Past tense.
Right.
Well, but the main thing is this: if you're getting married, or you're in a marriage, or you're thinking about getting married, or you're engaged, if you feel like it's something you want to do, any way you want to chop it, you want to sit back and you just want to take in some. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of knowledge.
Right.
So why did I get married? I asked the guy that, why you get married? He said, I don't know why I got married. And he, a lot of people are in marriages and are in relationships and they regretting every moment of it.
Right.
They wish to God. I heard somebody say, I wish she wouldn't wake up.
Right.
I was like, oh, bro.
Right.
So why did you get
she
married?
won't wake up.
Right. I was like, dog.
Dang, boy, that's hard.
Yeah, it can't be that hard.
Yeah, that's hard.
You need therapy, bro.
That's hard. Yeah.
You need to go straight to it. But the thing of it is this. I begin to look at it and I begin to wonder why do we look at it the way we look at it? Some people don't even see the need of it. I hear guys say, well, we got a beautiful thing, why we got to do it? Okay. And so it made me look at the whole institution of it. And why get married? Why do we get married? Right. Why are you in it? Right. Are you in it for the right reasons? Are you in it for the stability? Are you in it for the money? Are you in it for the love? Right. Are you in it because, like everything else, everything comes with a price. There's some giving and taking in it. Right. And the one thing that I will say about a marriage, it's giving. And if you're not a giver on levels, then you're going to have a problem with marriage. Okay. You're going to have to be a giver. Because love ain't even love until it's given. Love just words. Right. it come with action. These things come with responsibilities, and
So
they
how
come
you
with
feel
work.
when people say like marriage completes now? How
Marriage.
does a statement like that make you feel? How do you feel about something like that?
Somebody say marriage completes
Yeah,
them.
like they marriage complete now. Like, do you think like is it in your opinion? And some and I mean, I don't want to just knock, push back to push back.
Right.
If there are some married couples out there that would love to share why you got married, please call. And the number is 678-638-6626.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you feel about someone that would say like, okay, well, marriage complete me? Do you feel like that is?
I think it's some people out there that it does. I think it's some
feel
people
like
out
that's
there.
the function of marriage, what it should do?
I think it's some people out there who are wanting to be married, who knows the purpose of it, and who are giving, who can love at those levels.
Okay. So maybe the purpose. Let's talk. What's the purpose of it?
The purpose is to become one flesh. The purpose of marriage was to subdue the earth and replenish it, and to become one flesh. And it's instituted by God. And the thing about that's why the one thing that I always look at it, because everybody wants to say they want to be married. Everybody want the cake and the honeymoon, and everybody want to dress up.
Right.
But do you really want what come with it?
Right.
And it's a lot come with it. It's work.
But
go ahead.
Okay, so you have to desire that. That's what you're saying. You have to be a giver. I heard you say that.
Mm-hmm.
But what about people that are? I mean, so would you say it's wrong to be married because you're alone?
Yeah.
Because you hear people say like, "Oh, well, you're getting a little older.
You don't want to.
You want to go ahead and tie down." And, I mean, I think that boil down to the person.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, at the end of the day, if some people, alone is not lonely,
right,
for everybody.
Exactly.
So my question is, do you think that that's a reason, or a good enough reason, or a right enough reason to marry somebody? I'm gonna bring somebody in my life because I'm lonely. I don't want to do this by myself. I mean, because everybody's not gonna come from the same perspectives,
right?
Just think, if I didn't grow up in the church and I don't know, you know what I mean?
Right.
So if you were, I'm just an average person I feel I'm a certain age. It's around that time in my life I'm supposed to be getting married. You know what I mean? Just because of the norm and you know what I mean? And then when it's not happening, okay, now I'm feeling alone. I feel like I'm doing something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so am I wanting marriage for the wrong reasons?
No. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I don't believe you should get married because you're feeling lonely. It got to be a whole lot more than that. Because everybody feel lonely. Your feelings are your feelings. They up in the air. 1 minute you feel cold, and the next minute you're hot. You could be flashing. I don't know. Right. But your feeling come and goes. So to do it based on a feeling or want to be it's something more deeper, because it's going to require more than just a feeling, a fuzzy feeling, or a mood feeling, or I feel these warm fuzzies. It's way more than that.
Right.
Because if you ask most married people, they ain't even, most of the time they don't feel the warm fuzzies.
Right.
That's TV.
Right.
We talking about the real.
Okay.
So why did I get married? Why did I go through this drama?
Right.
Was it really for me?
Right.
I'm a firm believer, and I know men disco, but I think you need to be able to go and talk to somebody.
Right.
Put your stuff on the open up. No, when I say disco, I know, because disco said ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing how to. But now I know that's how different people feel, and ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But if you got drama and you got issues from other stuff, if mama them done some, or you were raised away, or whatever your issue may be, you need to iron that out before you tie into somebody else, and hadn't discussed you or don't know all this baggage you bring to the table. You know what I'm saying?
What you mean? Hold on, am I on?
I don't hear you.
I can't hear you.
You want this one? Yeah, so
Check.
there you go.
Okay.
So when you say get some kind of talking, you talking about, we had a conversation about this yesterday. Yeah, seriously, on
Okay.
G-Spot. Well, what they were saying was the fact that a lot of people that are married take advice from people that are not married.
Right.
And my answer to that was, it still can be possible. because you don't know what somebody else been through.
Right.
Right.
Just because they're not married don't mean they don't know the
Right.
odds and ends on how a relationship should go.
That's true.
If that make any sense.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
So when I tell you I don't want to listen to nobody give me advice, it has to be somebody again.
Right.
I'm gonna keep saying this.
Right.
Somebody who knows me genuinely,
Right.
not somebody who got a degree.
Right.
Right.
I just don't believe in no invoices,
That paperwork.
paperwork for you to tell me about my life.
experience.
You
Right.
gotta know somebody. It's like no disrespect to you, he can tell you what's gonna trigger me, what ain't gonna trigger me.
Right.
Some people can tell me disco no. Some people can't. So that's just where I'm at with it. So the marriage part, again, so why did you get married?
Why did I get married? I got married because I love my wife. And I wanted to say something about that. Because I'll say this. A lot of guys, and that's just one of them. That's just one reason I'm gonna say that. But I want to hit on this because when I bring up the word love, the love thing, I think a lot of guys have a problem admitting that or saying that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of men have a problem saying that. But watch this. On the flip side, women got a problem with submissive.
Oh, say that
Women
again.
have a problem.
Women got a lot of women got a problem with being submissive.
I need Sean from G Spot to tune in.
Oh man.
So I mean, they do,
Okay.
and when you understand, when you love. Now I'm coming from the Bible, Ephesians.
Okay.
When you love, he says, love your wife as Christ loved the church and gave himself for her.
Okay.
Okay. Now that's more than just talking. There is a level of it.
Right.
Now I'll say this. Now just because he said that to the men, it ain't like he didn't say that to the women. But what he say to one, he say to all. But at the same time, there were certain things that were specified. Right. Then he told a woman, submit yourself to your own husband.
Okay. Right.
Okay? So I think those things are some of the things that people wrestle with.
Right.
And I think it makes people back off. And at the same time, I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
Based on your church or your religion or what you or whatever interpretations you read of it,
Right.
that's what it is. Now, if I come to you and I'm gonna be a part of what you saying, or I'm gonna come and get the Aaron James treatment,
Right.
then I'm submitting to the Aaron James treatment.
Right.
There's a certain level. That's what you say is the treatment.
Right.
So how can I take part of it and not take all of it? How can I take part of what the Bible say about it and not take? So all of that. That's why I say, why did you get married? You have to really look at that.
Right.
To me, hopping up, getting married, and doing that because your girlfriend did it last year. And
So what do you say to people that's been together for years but they ain't married? I mean, and they,
What do I say to that?
yeah.
I say, what do your heart? What do the Lord say to you? Now I will say this.
Right. Because everybody right.
Right, because I'm gonna tell you something.
And the legal advantages and all this and that, because I
Right.
heard the argument that marriage is really just a legal, arrangement as to how to handle things. But there are advantages legally.
Right.
I'm just saying outside of spiritual beliefs.
Right.
And there are spiritual advantages.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's kind of.
do you think every person? But see, that's what I'm just saying. Why do people do it?
See, Jay, on that note, it make you think like my first marriage, I got married, not saying I didn't love the woman, but my main thing was my grandma taught us if she can have your child, she need to be your wife.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how we was raised.
See,
Right.
that's a lot of right.
But see, grandma back then dealt with more, older couples dealt with more, they had more tolerance level than we do.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So stuff that bothered grandma
Right.
or stuff that didn't bother grandma bothered the new generation.
Exactly.
Right.
So as grandma was giving that advice to us,
Right.
we just took heed to what grandma said.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because in grandma's eyes, the same thing she turned her head about, she expected us to turn her head about, but the new generation
Exactly.
wasn't doing that. So it was a kind of unfair
Right.
Right.
teaching, but it was the biblical teaching.
Because the new thing that came out of that was, okay, well, find a man that can take care of you.
Correct.
And then it went beyond that, and you don't need no man to take care of you. You need to be your whole person. So that's why I'm saying, like, even on the sense now, you done told people to be their own person, you know, and some people, you know, you still got people getting married, I think, and I don't think it's the best advice, you know, as financial arrangement.
No.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I can't stabilize on my own. So to some extent, that is a good thing.
Right.
But then after that, you do have to know how to come in and bring it into a marriage. Now, what I would say, if, you know, I've been married before and divorced, but for me to be married again,
Go ahead. To you.
That's them.
I'll say this, and I'm listening to what you're saying, and people are
Right. And that's why I say, why do you do it? You know,
they're
what I mean?
moving it away. They're
Right.
moving it away.
Okay, go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Well, let's call it what it is. The question was, if you've been together a long time, but you're not married, let's call it what it is. It's compromise.
It's
We grown
compromise.
folks, It's compromise. That's what we do.
I hear.
Compromise.
Wow.
Okay.
What would you say?
Appreciate y'all bringing all these hard questions up. This is a good conversation.
Right.
Thank you, guys.
I'll say this. I'll say this. Like you said, well, it wasn't for the marriage. Then I need to find somebody that, what you say, find somebody that's compatible, or
Right.
find somebody that this, or
Right.
you don't need a man. Well, see, all of these things came up after
Right.
the fact
Right.
of what the Bible says. All these things came. Well, I can't, because I can't love him. I don't love him. I'm gonna marry him because he got money.
Right.
Or I'm gonna marry him because, you know, but what he can give me, what I can get from him.
You know, it's funny, like Jay say, it's levels.
Right.
Because you got to think about it. Again, biblical back in the days was you in a relationship, ain't no shacking up. Boom, we getting married.
Right.
The new generation, the first sign of trouble, now we getting divorced. Now I'm saying, then the next generation, he got to be perfect.
Right.
Have all this stuff from A to Z. Then I'm gonna marry him. Right? Now your ass almost 60 years old, ain't got no man.
Right.
Now you gonna claim anybody come along. So it's like different level, different trend. So
right.
marriage sometimes can be trends.
Exactly.
Well, see,
To a lot of people.
And people
Right.
get married for all kind of
Trends.
Yeah.
well,
Because they in a cubicle at work. Four of their homegirls tell me they went on a trip with their husbands.
Because they like, I mean,
So now the next cat meet you at the club, buy you a drink. Now that's my boo.
right.
Then I'm engaged. Now I'm throwing a little baby shower, pink and
Right.
blue reveal party.
Right.
That's the new thing. Now let's get married on Valentine's Day. Them cheap ass little $69 rings. They putting on sale now Valentine's Day. Everybody get married on Valentine's.
Right.
But my whole point is
Right.
it's like it's a trend now.
right.
And it ain't nothing to get jump in and get out.
It used to be,
It
like I
don't-
say, our grandmamas, it was that was you had to do, but you stuck with it.
Right.
Like all our grandmamas was married 50, 60 years.
Right.
They died together.
Right.
The next generation, first thing he did wrong, first thing she did wrong, I'm gone.
Right.
Okay.
Now, I can understand
And
if
I could-
somebody came forward and say, you know what, I met this person and I absolutely feel like my life aligned with that person.
Right.
The things that they believed in, I believed in. You know, or if I didn't, I felt like I could get behind and support.
Right.
I respected that person. I respected the integrity of that person. No, they weren't perfect and they didn't have everything that I felt like
Right.
I wanted, but I respected them for what they had and the level that they brought it on. You know what I mean? The level of realness. You know, to me, that is a grown up. But to be saying like, okay, well, I was lonely, and in a day like today, to be saying, well, you know, for security purposes. You know what I mean? That I don't think that's no longer acceptable because you got the same, you know, the drawing board done changed. You know, you got black women earning more money than black men now.
Right.
So if it's about finding security and she's looking for security, why would it be wrong for him to look for security?
Okay,
Let me-
AJ,
You know what I mean?
How many couples you think would be married right now if it wasn't a beneficiary rule?
Wow.
Like right now, if it wasn't a rule in life where you die, she get. How many people right now you think would be married? For
I mean,
real.
Right.
It could be. It could be
Divorce rate is
a whole lot
high.
less. Let me-
Divorce rate is high.
But no,
Yeah.
you answer my question. How many people you think would be married right now if beneficiary never existed?
Right.
Meaning when I die, everything
get
died
nothing.
with me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would
That's a
be
great
it would be
question.
much less. I
That's a
would.
great
That's what
question.
I would think.
That's a
I
great
would think it would be.
Right.
But what I wanted to get at too, one of the things that you alluded to was our grandparents and mothers them they stayed together. They got married.
Right.
Okay, I'm not saying that marriage is easy, but the one thing that is in the core of it should be, is the love, and that love was what holds that together. Okay, because I'm not saying your granddad or mine. I'm just using granddaddy hypothetically, because granddaddy was hell to live with. Just let's say it.
Right.
Some of us is hell to live with.
Right.
Some of us ain't easy to get along. Some of us is jacked up.
So would you say?
But guess what? Your woman hanging in there
Right.
with you now.
So you have to learn how to love. Is
You
that what
gotta.
you're saying?
You,
So can I love you?
Still learning.
Okay.
We still learning. We still listen. Marriage is a work. That's what I think. Marriage is a work. I'm still working. I've been married 26 years, happily married, I would say. Now, are we always happy? No.
Right.
Do we get along? No. Do everything go my way? Do everything go her way? Most of the time, no. But at the same time, we make it work. And those are the characteristics and attributes that brings and holds longevity. That love has to be in there. And I'll tell you this too. When it gets shaky, when I lose my way, I'm just going to come from my perspective.
Right.
When I lose my way, when I feel myself, when I feel like being a dog and I feel like being dirty and all the other things, because I'm just like anybody else. I'm a man.
Okay.
I look to the word. I look to word. When I lose my footing as a man, the one thing about us as men, women look for us to be stable in our mind and the way we move, the way we carry ourselves, the way we act. They look for stability. They look for safety. They look for provision. And when you lose your way, when you lose your mind and your thought pattern of who you're gonna be and why is it working, I fall back to the word. That's why I always go
But the
back.
key thing you're saying is you fall back to the word because you see the word in your wife.
Right.
See, it's hard to fall. It's hard to fall back into the word if what you with ain't in the
with it.
word.
Now that's
Right.
now we finna see. That's where I want to get to. You right now. How do you roll with that? I want to throw that back at A because A been throwing something this.
How do you roll with what?
How do you roll with if you are in the word? If you are a man, a godly man, or you are something to fall back to in your partner or your wife.
Don't. You try to talk to them.
Right.
I mean, because number one, you a man still.
Right.
So you try to share it with them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just let them know. And then, and the thing too is, if you have to be
You got
that
me
man
raising
because
my
you
hand on
ain't
this.
you ain't finna go there and tell your old lady, you know what, this is, I believe when stuff get hard for me, what I do is pray. And then, you know what I mean, when stuff get hard and you walking around with an attitude.
Right.
You got to walk your talk.
Exactly.
You got to demonstrate.
Exactly.
You got to become that what you trying to show her.
Right.
Exactly.
Don't just
And then-
talk about it.
But
Now-
vice versa, I got to respect you as the word too. Like you can
She
know
gotta respect you.
but you
Or
can
she
know
can't
every
learn from you.
you can know every scripture in the book.
That's true.
That's like just
Yeah.
that like to me, it's like an ESPN analyst. They know every stat. God know the man with football, but they ain't never touched a football in their life.
Right.
So to me, you got Christians out there who know every chapter in the book, but you ain't walked that chapter yet in your life.
Right, in your life.
So you can do all the praying in front of me.
Right.
You can do
Right.
all the note taking in front of me. You can go to
Right.
all the Bible study in front of me.
Right.
If I don't see that walking you,
Right.
I'm
Ain't
gonna
nothing to
I'm gonna put in the front right with you.
Right.
And
People
your-
see what you do and not hear what you say, man.
And
Ain't
your
about
woman-
what you saying all the time.
And your woman won't follow you.
Exactly.
And you can say what you want to say.
Exactly.
And I
we
go to
talking
far.
about on both sides.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
on both sides.
either or. Now one of them.
Right.
But I go as far as saying this, and this is something you don't do it until you live it.
Right.
You can quote it all day, but until it's in you
It
and
ain't
you're
real
walking
until
it,
you're doing it.
you ain't doing
Sit there
that.
and
You
talk
ain't doing
about
that but
Six
quote.
Flags all day, but if you ain't never been out there, bro,
You don't know what you're talking
you
about.
talking.
That's why I told you before I told both of you this. I can't stand when I meet, and I'm not saying to disrespect no pastors out
Right,
there.
right.
I just can't stand when I meet somebody in the God, and the first thing they tell me is, I'm a minister. I don't
Right.
need to know all that.
No.
Just tell me
Right.
your first name or whatever your
Exactly.
nickname is and go from there.
Exactly, because like I said when we came in, and the people that been knowing him know he been doing this,
Right, right.
collecting food and but you ain't introducing yourself as the man that's feeding the neighborhood.
No.
You say you disco.
Right,
You see what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
why I got to be all of this other pretense?
right.
But then, so
It's like me too. I hate this. Speaking of that, I can't stand, and God forgive me for saying this. Lord, please forgive me. The folks that do the drives, I'm all about taking a picture of everybody involved.
Right.
But when they start taking pictures, they handing food to people.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that irritate me to the fullest.
Right.
That irritate me to the fullest.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just yeah.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised. We going off down that
Yeah,
road.
we-
I'm sorry.
But
yeah.
ain't nothing wrong with that. But we gonna hit it.
We hit back.
We'll
I'm
touch
sorry.
it. But ain't nothing wrong with that. The Bible talks about the ones that are gonna make it in. And I mean, I don't want to get into, but I just say go read Matthew 24,
Right.
and Christ was talking to the church folks,
Right.
and he told them y'all put all this on people and y'all ain't even living it,
Right.
and you yoke people up. He said, and then you won't even believe, and you stop other folks from believing. And he tell them there will be gnashing of teeth and all this. You go read it, and I'll tell you what. Go through it in the NIV version, and so it'll talk plain to you, so you don't get caught up in that.
Let me ask you another question.
But I'm just saying.
When you talk about why I get married, right?
Right. Why we get married?
Okay, I'm gonna challenge you real quick on the Bible.
Let's go.
You ready, Jay?
I'm ready. Let's go.
So you speaking on biblical why I get married, right?
Right.
Now I know in the Bible talk about divorces.
It does.
Okay.
So how can you do both? How can you be married by the word of God, but you also get divorced in the same sentence?
In the Bible, in the day, it was forbidden for women, in some instances, to own property. And you talking about divorce? It was forbidden for them to have. For divorce comes from stepping out, cheating. He cut that in there for that.
I understand, but the Bible talking about forgiveness, praying with your husband, praying with your spouse.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
He go to real of it.
Keep it 100.
He go to
now.
real of it.
All right.
A lot of times you can, but he know that men were in flesh and we were human, and he knew that because we in the flesh,
the man ain't gonna forgive him.
you can't. It's hard to forgive.
It's hard.
And
The
I'm
man
gonna tell
ain't
you
gonna
something.
forgive him.
I
And
tell
he
you
might
this.
been dirty,
now
but
you
he ain't
can
gonna
forgive
forget it.
her. Watch this. You can forgive her, but the first time she come home late,
Now you're a
do I
woman,
need to?
baby.
Do I need to go? So
Now
the
you're a
first time
woman,
she
baby.
late, if she cheated on you,
Right.
and she late, and she could be in traffic, the first time she come home late, you could go off in a rage.
I understand what you're saying. My point is, and I'm not trying to disrespect you at all.
Go ahead.
I hear a lot of Christian people always talking about how much they're into the word of God with their marriage.
Right.
And then they get divorced maybe 3-4 years later. So I'm clueless where
Right.
in the Bible it talk about
Whatever y'all
divorces.
going through, y'all supposed to been able to.
To work it out some kind of
Right.
way. That's why I'm trying to tell you about
Right.
the older couples,
Right.
our generation.
Right.
We were
It's how
known to have the
divorce rates in
granddaddies
the
who had
Christian
who were all
community, too.
Rolling Stones, had a
Right.
bunch of kids outside their marriage, and grandma married 50, 40, 60 years.
Right.
Because
Right.
they faithfully went by the book.
Right.
Right now, our era, they want to pinpoint what words they go by.
Right.
So either you're gonna either speak on the Bible with your marriage
Right.
from A to Z,
Right.
or you gonna
A to Z.
pick your points. Okay, I'm be
Right.
married.
You gonna get
between-
the outline.
Thank you.
No,
You go come up with your own outline.
Let me be real. I'm 100. I am a man of God, and I do have my days. We do, both of us. Everybody do. Every couple do. You just don't know about it.
Right.
Now, the thing that's supposed to hold the marriage together is Christ. He's the third. He's the first entity. He's the binding effect that holds it together. Because when we lose our way, we fall back to our faith. We fall back to what we believe. And when I say believe, I'm talking about believing it like you sitting in that chair, like that chair ain't finna give up.
Right.
Now, if you didn't think that chair would hold your end, you wouldn't put your butt in it.
Right.
So believing it and knowing it, just like you know your name, you wouldn't answer to Aaron because that ain't your name. That's what that's what I'm talking about. Knowing and believing something real. It's more than just a feeling, more than just a speaking tongue on Sunday. I'm talking about something that sustains you
Right.
and holds you.
And everybody's not gonna get it.
Right.
I mean, say everybody that say they're a Christian they don't
No.
live the same. They don't walk the same.
I
They
don't-
gonna, because I'm taking it there because we'll just talk about divorce in Christian families. So these are people that believe in the Bible,
Right.
like you saying. I'm
Right.
gonna put it all the way on that side of the court. But just the same way everybody don't practice Islam the way they should. You know, they
Right.
say, well, some of them dudes were beating on the
Yeah.
old ladies at the house and all this, You always gonna have people. That's the reality of man. Now you have to understand religion too
Right.
for what it is. You know what I mean? But the religion that don't change the heart is not one of God, because that's what God is about.
It's
Changing
about the heart.
You know, and if you can't change that, you can come up with all the rules in the world. And that was the whole thing. Like,
Because
we were never going to be able to fulfill the Old Testament. Never
Right.
going to be able to do none of that. That's why, you know, they were sacrificing back then. You know what I mean? But, you know.
I'll say this too. And Christ had a way of speaking to people's hearts that transcend their ideology, their education,
Or religion.
and their religion, their traditions,
Right.
and their thought pattern. He had a way of speaking by his words, reaching in and getting the man's heart.
Right.
Now, we got a caller. Yeah, here they
Got a
come.
caller. Go ahead, caller. You on J.Gerrard?
Hey there. This is Brittany from Virginia. I've been enjoying the conversation
Hi,
that y'all
Brittany.
been having on why I get married. And I thought it was very interesting. Y'all were saying something about a couple of points back about the believing wife and the believing husband, and if the wife isn't in the word and
Right.
the husband is.
Right.
So I was thinking from both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know, when you're a believer and your husband or your wife is not in the word as much as you would want them to be, it does teach you, the one who's in the word praying, patience.
Right.
Because you got to think, like, God's goal is for everybody
Right.
to come to him.
Right.
You know, it's his goal for everybody. And so when we think about marriage is just not a trend you do. You don't step in it lightly.
Mm-mm.
Because when you step into that covenant,
Right.
for believers, it's like this marriage is going to make you holy. What if the purpose of marriage is to make you holy?
Right.
So you can't just press the escape button. So
Right.
if your husband's not believing and he's not reading the word and
Right.
he's not praying, and God has said this is your marriage, stay in it.
Right.
There's a level of patience that God is working out in that one who's reading the word and praying, because that man, and it could be years until he finally realized that God is real.
Mhm.
But if God says stay and pray,
Mhm.
no matter what, whether it's a woman or whether it's a man, that is our obedience to God, because we don't follow the marriage, we don't follow men, we follow God. And kind of
Right.
the same thing with what's his name? It was a prophet that was told to go marry a harlot
Right.
and to keep going and getting her
Jose?
back over and over again to kind of,
Jose?
exemplify the way
Yeah.
Christ's love, what God's love
Right.
is for Israel.
Right.
So I think when you think about marriage is beyond this old, because I like what you said. You have to learn to love. You do have to learn to
Right.
love your spouse.
Right.
You get the bubbly feelings and the
Uh-huh.
butterflies, and it's all good.
Oh, that's
and you
good,
take you on
right.
the honeymoon.
Yeah.
Then when he jack up your finances or
Right.
she messing around and do something,
Right.
those butterflies go real quick. And you be like, well, what did I get myself into?
Right.
So it takes Christ to keep
Right.
your
Right.
feet.
But let me
walking with
ask you
God.
this. Let
So-
me interrupt you and ask you this for a second, Brittany. Would you say, okay, and I'm gonna go back to the original question. Why did I get married? That's what we're talking about, right? So we're talking about the why. Can you expound
Well,
a
my
little bit
why
on what you
was-
believe the why is, or even if you're married, if you want to share that personally, your personal why, or a why, you know what I mean? Because what I'm trying to get to the bottom of, and I said this, man, Elijah had the conversation earlier. I don't think it's right to get married because you're lonely.
Right.
Because the issue is deeper than your loneliness is something that you need to look into.
Mhm.
You don't marry
Oh,
because
yeah.
you're lonely.
Mm-mm.
You know, just because you're alone don't mean you should be lonely.
Mhm.
So
No,
that
you
is
can be
another
alone in a
issue.
marriage.
So that's an issue that you have to work on within yourself. So in a sense, I think it creates a lot of voids, and people come into marriage looking for fulfillment for other reasons. You know what I mean? And they haven't wholly dealt with themselves.
Yeah.
So
I agree with
Right.
that. I think, I got married because it was the thing to do. Not thing to do as far as the trend. It was the next step. It's like, okay, I'm in a relationship, so what's next?
Right.
My reason for that, I didn't understand the whole gravity of marriage when I got into it, because I am one of those, like, okay, point, I went to school, I graduated, I got my degree, I got a job, I got my license, now I'm in a relationship. Okay, what's next? Get married. All right, what's next? Have babies. And so
Right.
in my mind, in my youthful mind, being naive, it was just like, okay, that's the next thing to do. Not because it's a trend and I want to take pictures, but
Right.
it was just, okay, that's what
It's the
we've
next
been.
logical
and then
step.
You can
Right.
always get into this part.
Right.
We've been groomed as women you get married and you have babies. So it's a lot of different sub things you can talk about when it comes out. Well, the why.
The why.
But for me, I was like, okay, well, it's time for me to get married because that's the next thing to do. That's what I've been taught, the next thing to do. Granted, we ain't have no babies out of wedlock, so I need to get married.
Right.
But I think when you get married and understanding, now that I've been married, for 7 years in April,
Congratulations.
you need to come complete. Like, you don't need to come
some
incomplete,
issue,
and I mean
right.
complete, whole. Like,
Right.
come with your stuff, come whole, or healing, or whatever you're doing. Don't come because you want to be fulfilled by someone
Right.
else, because no man, I don't care.
Right.
He could be the perfect, he could be Prince Charming,
Right.
flying in the sky.
Right.
He will never fulfill the deepest desires of your heart. He just, because he's man.
Right.
And,
But I've heard a lot of
but
people
we
say
look for
this.
that.
And
Right.
growing up in the church, because back in the day, he used to say, "Oh, well, it's better to marry than to burn." You know,
I would burn. I wouldn't burn.
you know what I mean. So I mean, I'm just saying, if you just say, "Wait a minute," because there's a lack of self control or whatever,
That's what
I
that
should
is.
go ahead and
It's
because
simple.
that is the way to, you know what I mean. That's the way
What
I translated it.
Well,
Like,
I mean, it's better to get self-control before you do any of that.
right.
It's better to get self-control before you do any of that. Ain't no sense in you walking around. So that's
But a
those
lot
are the
of people
kind of
got married
things.
for a lot of exactly.
Right.
Some people literally got married and
Just
to have sex.
Right, and now
You know, with a clean. I mean, I'm just saying. Some people literally got married to have sex with a clean con. Depending on what your background was growing up. You know what I mean? I'm being very real. There's a large, audience of Christian people that grew up, and like I was saying about lonely people, there are people that are in marriages and are still lonely.
oh man,
You know what I mean? So these things don't solve your problems.
right. That's
You
the
gotta
why.
work on you.
That's the why.
That's what I'm saying. So why did you?
But have you seen Bridgerton? I know this is a Netflix series, but some people are groomed from birth just to be married. Like
Yeah,
that's true.
that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So you also have cultural reasons why people get married. It's not just because they want to be fulfilled by somebody else. You have a culture of people who,
That's
as soon
true.
as the girl come into the world, the man come into the world, this is what you're going to do when you
Right.
turn 21 or whatever. Now,
Right.
granted, that was back in the day, but we still have cultures that still have arranged marriages, and we still have that now today, where that's what they tell women and men. You go to school, you get your degree, and then you get married. And then that's what we believe growing up. So I think there's a lot of different reasons why people get married. Like I said, for me, it was like, okay, this is the next thing I'm supposed to do. But when I got in it,
Right.
I realized I need Jesus every day,
Right.
because it's not something. It's not for the faint of heart. Like, man,
Right.
if you're not for self-sacrificing and you don't want to let die to self every day, then
Right.
don't do it. I
Right.
tell people all the time, don't come over on this side of the fence if
Right.
you're not willing to die.
Right.
Because you have to literally die to yourself every single time you wake up and have a new day. So, but my reason wasn't right. However, as I'm going through this process, my reason for staying is aligning with God.
Right.
I like that. Good answer. Yeah. I'll say this. A lot of times when we say why, and you hit on it, a lot of people say a lot of different things. But the couple of things that I just want to say, well, I don't know why, but let me say this. And I brought it up earlier. A lot of guys, when you go back, it says love. And then it says submit or respect or love. And what he says to one, he says to both. Now, if you having problem, because it's amazing to me, the power of love, real love. If you love somebody, I don't know if you don't know how it is, or you ever been in love, or if you ever been that person that ever got ran over and they still died, but you can't help yourself. Okay. Christ said, love your wife as God loved the church. And he gave himself.
What church?
He gave himself. The church is the body of Christ, the believer,
okay.
the person.
Okay.
You, me.
All right.
And he gave himself. So he loves us so much, he's committed to us. Even when we go out and we disrespect, we don't show, we act like we don't know, we disrepresent, we embarrass, he still is committed and he loves us. Now, I want to go to the other side of the coin. When it says, wife, submit yourself to your own husband.
Right.
Submit yourself, respect him.
Right.
And I'll tell you real quick, the fastest way you can get a man hot is to disrespect him.
I think, and I was just
Am I
gonna say
right?
that. Yeah, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I was talking with my sister on the other day, and we was talking about this very concept.
Yeah, disrespect is
Because when a brother feel disrespected,
Right.
he'll forgive a lot.
right.
But you ain't finna get him out there and disrespect him in his house.
Right.
I don't know. No man will let somebody come up in their house and disrespect him.
Right.
Now we talked about it on different occasions, but so those are some of the things that you can look at.
I
Can
think
you
it's
love?
interesting too because, like he said, for the man, the commandment was to love.
Mhm.
You know, and this is in the area that we, men are challenged in. That's what,
Mhm.
to be able to express that love and not just
Right.
just talking about, the provisional side of it, even though that is first and foremost.
Right.
But then, be able to love her.
Right.
And then her being challenged in the area of submission,
Mhm.
is being instructed to submit. And I think in reality, if you think about, anybody been in a relationship with a woman, no, I hear men say it all the time, man, I ain't trying to get her.
Right.
You know what I mean? And okay, well, that sounds good, but at the end of the day, like, I don't really understand that.
Mhm.
Because if you're afraid of your wife, then I don't understand how you being, respected if you are.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And at the same time, she should be secure enough in the love that you're showing her
Right.
to not feel,
It's a given. It's a given. Both people
it's
give.
a give and take.
Right. And if what you need to worry about is your giving. Someone there. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, someone said,
Brittany.
Oh yeah, I'm about to go, but
oh,
Okay.
okay. We're sorry. Thank you for your call. We ain't
Right.
mean to hold you up. We know you're.
Call us.
Thank you for your call.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, the phone's
Okay,
are
we got
jumping.
another. Yeah. Okay, caller, go ahead. You on J.Gerrard? Caller, are you there? Oh,
We
okay.
lost. Yeah, we.
Okay. Is it clear now? There we go. Caller, go ahead. You on J.Gerrard show?
Hi, this is Crystal.
Hi, Crystal.
So, a question I have is, would you have been married or would you have gotten married if your parents
Hold on one
were
second,
an
Crystal.
elder
Crystal,
before-
excuse me. Can you speak up just a little bit? Just a little bit, please.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speak up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Your voice is
Would
so
you
soft.
have married if an elder or a parent before you
Mhm.
discussed what it really meant to be married?
Mm-hmm. Is that a
Ask the
statement?
question again. I didn't hear it.
Talk louder.
Talk a little bit louder.
Scream if you got to.
Okay. Okay. Would you have married if someone before you, like a parent or a grandparent or sister or brother, whomever, who was married or is married, had told you what it meant to really be married beforehand?
Would I have gotten married if somebody before me told me?
Mm-hmm.
It'd be false.
Yes,
It'd be
like-
a false teacher.
Had told you, okay, like let's say when you're in school, you get instruction,
Right,
right? You're taught certain things.
right,
A lot of times, I feel like people are not taught what it really means to be married.
True.
right.
Like you'll go to your parents and
I
say,
get you.
"Hey,
Right.
I'm ready to get married." Does
Right.
anyone ever really sit and say, "Okay, you're thinking about getting married. Have
Mhm.
you discussed this? Have you discussed that?"
Right.
Would that change your idea of marriage and change you wanting to be married if you knew beforehand kind of what to expect and the responsibilities that go along with that?
You want to answer that?
Would me personally, no, it wouldn't have changed because I'm gonna tell you, for the why part. Why are you getting married? Some people actually get married because they're soulmates. Some people actually get married because they love each other. Everybody ain't.
Everybody's
and see, you
rigging
can't
gonna
you
be
can't take that brush and say everybody is
Right.
like me or like you.
Right.
But I got married because I love my wife flat out. I mean, I was hooked. I know he was saying about fishing. I was caught.
Right.
And I was pulled up onto the dock, and I was in the cooler going back home. So, and I'm glad that was my base because that said, is it easy? No.
Right.
Has it been? It's work.
Right.
But when the thought of her not being in my life, is something I don't like necessarily like think about. So
Right.
I mean, I love my wife.
Right. I think the best thing too, if like you saying, the question is if it was being taught, I think for me personally, I still would
Yeah, get married.
no, I still would have gotten married,
Right.
but it would be based on what I felt like my idea of love. If I had seen
Your wife.
love, if I had seen a couple that, you know, was happily married, or I just desired that for myself, you know, I don't think, you know, somebody can actually teach you. I think, you know, there's some like life lessons.
Right.
You know,
I think it's false. Can you hear me? I
Yeah.
think it's false pretense.
Right.
Because again,
if somebody was teaching you.
because the times is different. Like I told you before,
Right.
Grandma and Granddaddy had a whole nother
Whole different
perspective of life.
understanding,
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Grandma tolerated way more than what these women gonna tolerate.
Right.
Vice versa.
Right.
And the roles, I think the roles were really played back then.
Right.
Like the roles were so cut and dry.
Right.
It wasn't no 50-50. It was Pops went out there and made all the money and took care of the household.
Right.
Grandma made sure the food was kept, the house was clean,
Right.
kids were going to school. So the roles was different.
Right.
Now that it's 50-50, you can't give me the same advice because the roles are different now.
Right.
You saying a 70-year-old grandma can't give a 30-year-old advice about marriage right now.
Right.
She have no clue what she's talking about.
I feel you. I hear you.
Whole different hand.
Whole different hand.
Yeah.
I hear you. But then I'll say this. That's why I say, like, now you said that and you say, well, you going back on. Well, to a point. I agree with you. Because to me, in my opinion, if it's a partnership or it ain't nothing wrong, that's what you know. You do what you know. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't know another way home, then you go the same way every time. But what I will say this, when you do know better, you do better.
Right.
When you know the purpose and the course, when like if she was saying if you were taught.
Right.
I'm old school.
Right.
I'm old school.
Right.
And so that's what I believe, and that's what I
But
found.
you
I
can,
found
okay,
you
so-
can learn.
now,
But
so I'll
you
say
can
this.
learn. You
I
can
will
learn
say
to
this.
love. I thought that's what you said.
I'm not knocking where because that's what they know.
Right.
But you know why? Because you didn't see that. Because her mama was single and her mama was single, or her dad was single, or we living in a time where marriages don't make sense.
Right.
It's not. But I will stick to where I'm from. 26 years in it. Is it easy? No. Is it work? Yes. But I wouldn't give a day of mine.
So if I'm a driving instructor, right? And I've been driving a Toyota Camry stick shift all my life. Can I teach Jane how to drive a Ferrari stick shift?
If you
So you talking about right?
if he a stick shift
If I've been
He's talking
teaching,
about people trying to
if I've been driving a Camry stick shift all my life,
right.
can I teach Jane how to drive a Ferrari stick shift?
I think you can give him principles like hit the clutch.
That's my whole point. So we can talk about the moral.
Right.
That's my
I was
point.
gonna
I can
make
talk
that
about I can talk about the morals of marriage,
Right.
but I can't put you in the same category because times is too different.
Ain't no
Correct.
play-by-play book.
Right.
That's my point.
And
Right.
that's
What
that's
I mean, like,
I agree. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Crystal.
So that's what I mean. Learning the responsibilities, the general responsibility that comes with marriage, meaning when issues arise, you can't just
Right.
run.
Right.
Or, have a disagreement, you need to talk it out.
Mm-hmm.
If I feel like more marriages would last now if those things were normal discussion
Mm-hmm.
at home.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you teach your kids certain things and it's basic, and as they grow up, they'll, stick to what they know. If you're teaching marriage and the principles of marriage in the household as your children are growing, and, that'll be something that's in your head.
Exactly.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
And
when I'm in
demonstrating.
this relationship with whomever, exactly. When I'm in this relationship with whomever,
Mhm.
I was taught you look for this, this, and this, and this. And that's how you know this would make a healthy relationship and a healthy marriage.
Right.
Just like
If we
Chris.
were taught those things, would that change? I feel like it would change the amount of marriages, and if people are actually marrying for the right reason.
Absolutely.
versus,
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
they're lonely.
Right.
Or-
Married for the right
James,
reasons.
just like Chris was saying, taught certain things. Like back in our day, if Pop disappeared, he was going fishing or playing checkers.
Right.
Grandma won't worry about
Right.
nothing else. Now,
Right.
now if a dude walk in that door,
Right.
strip club,
Where you go?
club,
Right.
IG model.
Right.
So times is just too different now.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So the basic principles can be taught.
Right. You
But
can give them the
it-
principle, but the day-to-day play,
it's
you
too,
can't.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You
too different.
you have to.
But you can teach it in your home.
But you can go
If
back to the
you
word.
are-
The word
right.
never changed though.
Exactly,
Right.
and that's why I
Right.
appreciate that because
Right.
that's
He's gonna try to raise an offering in a minute.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna- yeah,
Disco
we gonna-
over here.
Disco 100 cash
yeah,
out.
Right.
yeah, because it is what it is,
Right.
gentlemen. It is what it is. We always fall back to it.
Right.
I mean, that's why I say when you lose your way,
Right.
when it gets like that.
But
Because if it wasn't, then Big Mama and Big Daddy wouldn't have stayed together. I'm
Right.
sorry, because Big
Right.
Mama and Big Daddy, they had problems. Big Mama,
Right.
they didn't. Big Daddy wasn't the
Right.
nicest dude. I mean, he wouldn't.
Y'all had a great daddy. A papa was a Rolling Stone.
Yeah, so
Right.
I mean, it is what it is. It can
But
be
I think
taught.
it's so important to know your why, though.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because when you and I mean that's in
I like
everything.
that.
They tell you in business, know your why.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember why you got involved in it, like you said, okay, I say it personally for me. This person completes me. They not even to complete me, but just compliment me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I believe in this person. They believe in me. When you do those things that matter in that way, and not just I was lonely, or it was a financial arrangement, or I was going through some things.
Right.
I had just came out of this and jumped into that. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be and once you're in marriage now, that's a whole different thing. How to
Right.
go to the day to day.
Right.
But I'm just saying, before you even get there, know your why. Because there's a lot of people looking for things in relationships that they should deal with as an individual. Because if you're not whole and you're going into a marriage looking for wholeness, you know what I mean? You're going to suck the other person dry.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know, you literally are. So you have to have some balance. Know why you getting into these relationships. Because guess what? What if you get in a relationship and then you grow? Now you feel whole. Now you feel like, well, you know what? This person ain't, we not that, because you married for the wrong reason.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Your why was wrong.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. There are people, like I said before, that are in marriages lonely. They went into them lonely.
I like the when done right, marriage is a beautiful thing.
It is.
When done right. And I'm not saying that my stuff is perfect. Like I say,
Right.
we all work. We all strive. And I believe if two people get into something and work at it, even I don't care how dysfunctional your situation may be, it can always get better. And it takes two people working. That was one of the things that she was talking about.
Right.
Working, and then watch this, teaching your son, teaching your daughter, teaching your
Teaching the next generation.
because otherwise they're gonna perpetuate this.
Exactly.
I mean,
And you're their most immediate example.
right?
That's why like we were saying earlier, it's important to walk the talk.
And yeah,
No, don't just say it. You know what I mean? Show your son how to love a woman. You
Right.
know what I mean? Not just paying the bills. Give her a kiss. Let her show them that, okay,
Right.
women like affection. I'm gonna give her a
Yeah.
kiss, whether she just cussed me out on the way when I'm in the driveway or not. Because my mission is bigger than this, and we having a moment, but I'm teaching my next generation that this is how you walk. I had somebody tell me this, and I said it before. You walk in the house, those first 10 minutes, a man can change the whole atmosphere of the house, how you come in. You know what I mean? It's little things like that you can add into your marriage, into your relationship to make it work. But why did you get married?
I'll tell you something else. Why did you get married? I love when a marriage works. When a person that you can be completely transparent with, and I'm talking completely.
Right.
I ain't talking about not all the
Great
stuff.
reason.
I only want to talk about money. I want to talk
Right.
about the intellect part of it.
The
I want
intangibles.
the stuff that you can't put no.
Yeah.
You need a woman that can talk to your mind and stimulate you.
Right.
You need somebody that can take you there. We can talk, have a. And yeah, but I say you need a woman that can shut up too. But ain't nothing wrong with a woman that can talk.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with one can talk, and ain't nothing
And
wrong with a
one
little quiet.
Quiet. But
And be
ain't,
okay with quiet.
right, ain't nothing wrong with quiet.
wrong with it.
But ain't nothing wrong with somebody who can talk to you and you can be completely transparent with.
Right.
You can
And
share
the
your
same
thoughts.
way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the woman don't want no caveman. You know,
Right.
you come in with you're okay, you know. And you don't, some of them, you right, some of them do. Some of them
Right.
want you to shut
I
up.
want that old man gonna watch
Some of 'em
Family
want you to
Feud,
shut
scratch
up.
his feet,
We
don't go
going off on
nowhere.
something else.
Yeah.
Crystal, are you still there?
Yes, sorry.
Did you have anything else you want to share with us?
You be leaving them online.
No, that's
That's all you had to share with us tonight.
Make
Thank
sure you
so
find
much
that
for
driver
calling,
that's gonna
baby.
teach you how to drive that Ferrari stick shift, not the Camry.
Thank you so much for
Thank
calling,
you.
baby.
You
Okay.
You don't get
That's
it.
my, huh? Yeah, that's, I done did what? Oh, well, I mean, what? She's supposed to, well, I mean, that's my baby. She called in with a great question and, you know,
Try to
stimulated.
set your
He just said they're supposed to be able to stimulate your mind.
yeah.
Ain't that what he
You do
said?
your thing, bro. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you, baby.
She off now?
Okay, she gone? Oh,
Oh no, she's still on.
is she still?
Oh
Thank
Lord.
you.
Hey, look here, man.
See?
I'm gonna start
You,
charging.
you supposed to have hung up the phone.
I'm gonna start charging services, man.
Look.
$sign DISCO100 Cash App.
Right.
But right,
She cooking lobster now. She put the hot dogs up.
right.
You gonna get some lobster tonight. She put the
Right.
hot dogs up.
But
Oh,
but,
wow.
but back to the subject, man. That's what I think. I think it's important. I think it's a good topic too because, like, you see how we getting in and why did I get married?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess these are people that are already married. But I wanted to throw it to people like, you know, before you get there, figure out why you're going in there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So if you know I'm going in there, I'm an affectionate dude. I want a woman that's gonna love on me, one that's gonna cook for me. You know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So
And
what
if
if it
she
start?
ain't-
So what if it start off like that?
What if it start off like
I
that?
tell people all day long.
The bait and switch.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
yeah. So my whole point is like when you date
You
somebody.
gotta watch it long enough to see what it really do.
So when you dating long enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
I tell people you can like when you're a boyfriend and girlfriend in different houses, you gonna always see that person at their best
Right.
because they know they get in the car, they know you coming over,
Right.
so they got time to prepare that scenery
Mm-hmm.
and that mood for to show you.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people I feel like what I call them sideline coaches
Mm-hmm.
Right.
is what I'm gonna put it at. Everybody want to tell you what you did wrong after the fact.
Right.
We all can do that.
Right.
You can all tell me what I did wrong in my life, your marriage, because I know the outcome of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't watch you go down the fields play by play when everything was looking good till you got to the end zone. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So my point is that it always sometimes start off perfect.
Right.
And it just go downhill, up a little bit, downhill.
You know what I think it is, man? I think people get comfortable, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
I
People
think
get comfortable, bro.
Yeah.
People get comfortable. They start getting fat. They start, I mean, all kind of stuff. I ain't lying. You know. Uh-oh.
uh-oh.
Go ahead, Carly. You're J.Gerrard. Hey, mama.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
doing?
He done had a whole tangent before he pushed that button.
Comments. How you guys doing, first of all?
Oh, we're
We're doing
great.
good.
We're great. Thank you for asking.
Great.
How are you?
Well, my comment, it might be a little negative, but it's very true.
Okay.
I believe myself, marriage is very overrated.
Okay.
I believe people get married for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do get married, you've got to get married very much in love.
Right.
And you have to know that the person that you're marrying is compatible with you, likes what you like,
Oh, yeah.
you like what he likes,
Right.
because marriage is work,
Right.
hard work.
Right.
Exactly. I agree.
Right. That's
and
a drop
back
right
in the
there. We
day, divorces were not as easy as now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now you go to the courthouse and you get a packet for $380 and you're divorced.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you cannot get married. There's a lot of women out there that feel that being by themselves or being divorced is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a husband.
Right.
But they feel that marriage is a status as well.
Mhm.
Oh, my husband.
Right.
My husband.
Right.
Oh, I got a husband.
Right.
My husband. It's not a status.
Mm-hmm.
It's something you do to make yourself happier, to be happy,
I love
to
that.
share, to have kids.
Mhm.
It's more than just saying, I got a husband.
Right. Right. Right.
That's how I feel.
Oh wow.
And I think
And-
my son is a wonderful husband besides being a wonderful son, but that's besides the point.
Right.
you build that legacy too. I like that.
Yeah.
I like all that. That
Yeah.
legacy, the children,
I'm-
your
yeah.
name.
Yeah.
You know, I love that. That's a beautiful answer.
I think that is absolute. That to me, just the
But I
absolute
mean,
right
that's
answer.
that's how I feel. And I'm
Right.
64, and I can teach a couple of young girls exactly what to look for.
I
But
know
anyway,
that's right.
listen, you guys have great voices, and
Thank you.
I just hope you have a wonderful night. God bless you guys.
Okay,
and
thank you. Thank
Disco
you.
100, it's what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
You right, Mama.
Disco 100 says that's the way I do it.
That's right.
Love you, Mom. Thank you for
All
coming.
right, baby.
Uh-huh.
Love you.
Right.
God bless you guys.
Thank you. God
Thank you.
bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Wow.
Yeah. Uh-huh. You just gave it away, man.
Yeah.
Oh, see, right. Uh-huh. Yeah. But yeah.
I was married to that 64 years ago.
Right.
well,
Right.
well, 45 years ago.
Right.
But no, so like I was saying was that,
That was a great point, though.
Yeah.
I love the
so
point
you said
made,
why. I don't think nobody should judge somebody's reason why. Because your why can bring, your happiness on your why is different from mine.
Different from- exactly.
So it can be something simple. Oh, I like how she make homemade macaroni and cheese.
Right.
That's my personal. We're gonna keep me happy with old lady. I'm saying somebody in general.
Right.
So a lot of people like to dictate people why you married her, why you married her. That ain't your place.
Right.
Everybody got different reasons why they marry what they marry.
Right.
But you know what? One of the reasons that kind of stuck with me was, and I thought about that when I was thinking about it. Everybody why was kind of different. It is
Right.
different.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, go and look at your why. And if it
Yeah.
needs work, work it.
Know what it's about.
Yeah. If your why, ain't nothing wrong with why did I get married? I got married.
What's
'cause I
wrong with
love.
knowing why?
Ain't nothing wrong with that. If your
Right.
why need work, work that why.
Right.
If it need to be fixed, fix that why.
Right.
If you forgotten about why you got married, revisit that why.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's there are different reasons why we done what we done and we committed and we in this. And there are different reasons why the different ones are still doing it and they're gonna continue to do it.
Right.
But know your why. And so I wanted to say that it's amazing. I hope that people don't forget the part that I said, the loving as God loves the church, because it's gonna take that kind of love to keep it together.
Right.
It takes that kind of love to keep it together. It gonna take some serious love, because every day ain't Christmas. Every day ain't beautiful. Every day ain't the up days. And you have some down days, but I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
That's why I got married. Wow, and that's amazing when you can answer that. Wow, can you answer your why?
Right.
That'll be beautiful. Can you answer your why you got married? So, do we have any more callers?
No,
Is
ain't
that-
nobody on there. Ain't nobody on there right now. But yeah, I think it's been a great conversation, man. I think that for a lot of people that either thinking about it, and I mean, I think that the last caller was just great to enter off on that, because I mean, it's being very honest and bluntly said, in her opinion, that it was overrated. And I'm sure that's not the first time I've heard that, from a lot of different
People
people.
say
And
that.
it's right. And I think basically because people come to marriage, in and out of marriages for different things, you either find that fulfillment or you don't. But then, she went on to say, I think it's about, if you're going to have a relationship and it's going to, be fulfilling for you because you absolutely love the person, you can imagine your life, with the person, and, you got some level of respect and,
Right.
Admiration. There's some people you just meet that are just wonderful, that you
Right.
want in your life, and that's a very real thing. So why not, that's a very real why.
Right.
And there's nothing, not saying that, you got to wait till it got to be all the way that,
Right.
like Disco said, you might just like their mac and cheese,
Right.
if that's where you want to go in with your why, then, you can go there with it. But I think to know you know, and getting into it, and then being willing to grow with that person.
Right.
Because your why might change over the years.
That's what I agree.
You know what I mean? That
you have to revisit the why.
Yeah, the why might change over the years.
It's kind of like, as a coach, I put everything in football aspect. If I get a quarterback and he can throw 10 yards on a post, and right now that's winning all my games. That's my why.
Right.
But it's gonna come to a point where I play another team. I need something else out of them. Now I need to fade.
Right.
Now I need to curl.
Right.
Now I need your feet to work.
Right.
So like you said, we got to expand also.
Right.
So I can get you as my quarterback for that reason at first.
Right.
But as we grow together as my quarterback, I gotta install more in you and get more out of you.
Exactly.
And
Period.
it's natural because you getting as you in a relationship as
Right.
you get older, you should mature more. Even
more
we
familiar
should
with
learn more.
right.
And so with that in itself, you're gonna see different things differently.
And I think that's why you get so many divorces. I think
Right.
I don't think it's so much what somebody doing wrong. I
Right.
think it was somebody ain't doing right.
They grow
Right.
apart.
And so
you got to work it.
But
You gotta
that's
work
what, for me personally, that's what give me the shortness with these folks that, okay, you done been married, because I done been married and divorced, all right? And you in your 40s. Okay, so you done been there. You done had the uniform. You done played ball. You know what
Right.
it's like to be out here. You know what it's like to take a hit. You know you got to get up and make the next play. You know what I mean? So to be out here and still, you know, not looking at, okay, what did you learn from it?
Right.
You know, you still throwing yourself short. You still settling on, you know what I mean? If it didn't work out for you, like the last caller said, something,
Right.
hey, it's just overrated. This is what I want to do. I'm gonna stay by myself, not because of what is expected or what society wants you to do, you know, but what you feel like you need to be doing for you.
Right.
You know, some people, oh, well, you was married. When you ever think about getting married again? You know, and at first my answer used to be hell no. You know, that was very real for me. But honestly, when you get past all of that and you settle back down to who you really are, at the end of the day, yes, I do. That's what I desire for myself. And in that time, you know, that's what I'll do. But for people that are going through things, man, and then getting up and not paying attention, not doing the work, running right back into another situation, you know what I mean? Because you haven't done the work, you hadn't sat down and realized, you know what, I can do this by myself. And this was the person that got married for security.
Right.
Yeah, realize you can do that by yourself.
Right.
So you won't throw the man out once you come up, or he won't throw you out when he come up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's what's happening out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So your why got to be a little bit deeper than that. Marriage ain't for everybody, I would say. Some people don't know how to get along.
Right.
Some people, because of where we at in this generation, have just been trained. You know what I mean? It's a partnership. You know, it's 50-50. And I got a brother that I'm talking to about coming on the show that says, if 50-50 is all you putting in your relationship, you know, if your relationship is 50-50, there's no way you can ever arrive at 100%.
Right. Because
You can't if you're doing it. You can't if
both
you
got to be doing 100.
You got to.
You
do
both
more
gotta
than
be
that.
100.
It's gonna take a whole lot more than 50.
You both got to be 100.
Yeah.
On your bad,
talking
day,
about
you got to be
you talking
100.
about 50-50 as far as the finance.
Nah, I ain't talking about the finance. I'm talking about just the commitment.
I said everything.
You know what I mean? Uh-huh. Go ahead, caller. You're on J.Gerrard.
Hey, J.Gerrard, I like what you said about the people that had did it before.
Right.
And did you learn anything?
Exactly.
So I'm one of those guilty people, but the next time around I learned. You
Right.
know, I had, you know, it's just me and mine. You know, we're in our corner
Right.
and we just so in love. And I jumped out and married the person and I didn't take time to blend them
Right.
in with my whole family, with the people that knew me all my life.
Right.
I kind of just sprung them on my family and I got what I got, you know.
Right.
So what ended up happening is, fast forward, it didn't work because these really were my life. And
Right.
After a period of time of being agitated, I mean, I can't be in your face forever.
Right.
These really were this is my family. They really were my life
Right.
for 40-something, 50-something years.
Right.
So I think you really gotta, at some point, I know there's a period of time you do the honeymoon thing, but you do gotta,
Did you want to say
you gotta, at some point, come on, here's my real life. These are my people. They crazy. But
Right.
this is gonna be our life because this is where I come from.
Right.
And a lot of people don't do that, and you have to. That's what's real.
Right. Well, you know what? I get that. I get that. I get that point. So yeah, we the main thing is
Right, crazy.
loving enough.
Right,
You gotta love enough, and that giving and taking.
right.
I like to say I talk to some guys, and they tell me they don't like these men. They don't like losing. I'm like, what do you mean? And they was like, well, I said, well, you don't ever think you wrong.
Right,
I ain't never met no.
right. You gonna everybody.
I ain't never met nobody that has a problem with,
Right.
with making it right.
Right,
So, it is what it is. People have to learn, you have to grow together, and you have to revisit it, and you have to work on it
right,
if you want it. If you don't, it's going to be what it's going to be. And anything that's worth something, you have to put in work. Plain simple. You have to put in work. Appreciate it.
Oh, okay. Well, I ain't got no shirt in a couple of years, bro. I'm just. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
Oh, okay. I mean, well, okay. Well, okay. Well, I'm ready.
if you know,
Right.
if why, answer your why this man.
Right.
That's my why.
Right.
For right now.
Answer your why. Revisit your why.
Right.
I want to say that. Work on your stuff. Regardless of yesterday, you can always start today. You can always start in the morning. You can start whenever. Roll over and start. And just if what you're doing is real simple. If what you're doing ain't working, do something else.
Right.
But you can fix your why.
Right. That's
Right.
what. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm
Revisit
saying?
it.
Right.
So and then if it's broken, then look at it.
Kind
or
of
something.
like shooting a free throw.
Right.
If you keep coming up shooting a free throw, just come back the next day and do a different form and shoot
keep
different.
working.
Yeah, keep working at it.
Put the work in.
Right.
Because marriage ain't easy. It's not easy. And it takes a whole lot more than love. Because love comes with a whole lot of stuff. It comes with long suffering, patience, kindness,
Right.
meek, all those things. And all of those things going to have to come into play.
Right.
There are times I had to put on one of those shirts.
Right.
I had to put on long suffering and vice versa. My wife had to put on long kindness. Don't come at me all the time barking. That ain't a good idea.
Right.
So you have to learn that all of that thing, and you're learning each other. And the beautiful thing about it, you have that core,
Right.
and Christ is the core. So
And I think too, people move away from, and I'm really not trying to throw it all the way back into this.
Okay.
But I think that people have moved and are moving away. We live in a generation that's afraid of commitment.
right,
You know what I mean? People are really, literally afraid of commitment. They're afraid to commit to anything. We want out of contracts. We want a month-to-month on everything. You know what I mean? We're just not into committing to nothing because we feel like at any time anything can change, and we want to be able to change with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't, So that's a part of,
Right.
knowing your why.
right. Knowing your why.
Know why you're getting into it. But that's a part that's true that a lot of people just
Do you think a lot of people, Jay, both of y'all, do you think a lot of people rush into it because of fear of death, of dying alone?
Dying alone. Well, you know what?
feel like you're gonna die alone anyway.
Well, yeah.
No,
I've always-
not so. I mean,
not
I know
like-
what you're
not
saying.
like-
I know what you mean, but I know.
But I know a
what
lot of people that does. I mean, they in that because they don't want to be alone. They don't want.
Right.
They don't want to die alone.
Right.
Man, I tell you,
That's right.
a lot of people are run to it for that. A lot of people don't want to die alone.
I think that was one thing out of family though.
right.
Right.
If
I
you got a
think
strong knitted family,
Right.
it's different.
Come from a family legacy.
a
You done
lot
seen
of
something
men.
like that.
Now, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of men don't want kids, but most men
That's true.
want legacy. They want children. They want a little something
Right.
that look like them. They want something that they want to leave in the earth.
Right.
Put a little bit of you in, and it's still here. A lot of men. Want
If you got to spend all your time working, you want that moment you can stand back and watch your offspring enjoy what you done worked for.
right.
You know what I
And they
mean?
like it.
And because especially when you didn't have it coming up.
Right.
But we got another call. We're gonna take this last call, and then we're gonna I want to talk about the move to Monday too.
Okay.
Go ahead, call you on the J.Gerrard show.
Yeah, I just want to say I have really just been enjoying everything y'all been saying. We just can't. What comes to mind? How
Talk a little louder
for me, mama. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead now.
Uh-huh.
Right there.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that what comes to my mind a lot of times, people think and they can have a fairy tale marriage, and you can have a fairy tale wedding.
Right.
You can always have that nice wedding, but if it comes down to marriage, you can't do that. It's a whole new different ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But you got two different people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes like I think both of y'all was saying, it takes a lot. It takes work.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It takes a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
But both parties have to be willing to work at it. You know what I'm saying? And mainly work on themselves and not the other person.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about love is you never get done doing it.
Right.
Love is something that just got to keep flowing. If you saying you love somebody and it ain't moving, you got to be lying. Because love keep moving. Love keep going.
It's an action
Love
word.
keep giving. Love keep living.
Yeah.
It just keep going.
It's an action word.
Right. So all that other
Yeah.
stuff just be a sideshow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm really enjoying y'all show. I ain't,
We glad to be back.
You ain't kidding.
We glad to be back. Took a little time off to have a birthday and get a little older. Praise the Lord.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right.
I saw you out there in them streets.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. I got out there and did a little something. I had some
Forget it.
fun. Though.
Yeah.
I had some
doing
fun.
it.
Got some sun. You know, once they gonna lift this COVID, we
Halle
get Joe
Berry.
Biden to go on and send them mask on out.
Holly Berry.
You know what?
He said he gonna send some free ones.
Yeah, he did.
Hey, send me some. I'm tired of buying them. We buying them. You know. Yeah, send some free ones, Joe. We'll take them. We'll take them. But really, I mean, I know we ain't said a lot about that, but in this community show, y'all.
Right.
But please wash your hands and wear the mask. I know it. And see, right. It sounds like a joke now, but we still in the pandemic.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
The marriage ain't the only pandemic that we trying to get fixed. We trying to get
Okay.
on top of this COVID. We got all kind of pandemics.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Go on do
yeah.
it. Because I'm trying to get back to the
Especially
house.
when we
man.
got different states. I guess they decided they ain't gonna wear their mask no more. God help.
Right. I seen some people burning masks in the trash can, but them folks, that's that crazy.
Well, let them.
Y'all love on each other a little bit better this week.
Mhm.
Love on each other a little bit harder this week.
There you go.
Educate each other. Elevate the conversation. Let's try to build each other up this week. Let's not tear down. Now, we talking about wives and we talking about all this different stuff so we can, as a community, look at each other in a different eyesight, and stop looking down and stop disrespecting each other because we don't understand or don't come from the same background.
Right.
We can have conversations that can elevate all of us as a community. As a community, all of God's children, black, white, red, and green.
Say it, Dr.
That's just what we're trying to do.
Cash App $DISCO100.
Look
Offer
at-
me.
He capping.
He not with that.
Right. But again, I want to remind everybody that we're going to be making some changes too. Thank you, Catriso, so much for your call. We appreciate you calling. But we're going to be making some changes as the first of what is it, Disco? March, April 1st. We're going to be going to a Monday night. We're going to start April 5th will be the first show. We're gonna be on a Monday night, so we're gonna start talking about it now, and you'll start seeing media on it. If you don't follow us, you can follow us on Instagram at the J.Gerrard 2020 and Elijah. We're gonna be doing a lot of different things. We're gonna move to Monday because if we keep waiting to Tuesday, some people been not through the whole week off on Monday, so we're gonna holler at it. We're gonna holler at y'all on Mondays starting April 5th. Get the Monday mindset going where you can set your mindset and your scope for your week and live a positive week, get she's still on there.
Okay, bye.
Okay,
Hey,
thank you, Catrice.
Teresa.
Yeah. But I wanted to announce that too, and then to remind everybody too. Can you pull that community core back up for a second and swell it up? Because there's a phone number on there. And for everybody you can bring your kids out. I think we're working on trying to get a virtual link to where you can be able to log on and be able to see
FaceTime.
right what the kids got going on. We glad we got our sponsor, as we say, every month that and to find out what we got going on, it's at www.communitycoreinc.com. You can go to the website and look at what we're doing. There are other programs there that's going to be rolling out, doing some good in the community, y'all, not just talking about it, out here trying to do it. Disco, we got the you ought to throw yours the cap. You ain't got it, he ain't got it ready for it. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's you gonna get it on there? Okay, because that I was about to say that's like ordering a chicken and they tell you ain't got no hot sauce. Yeah.
Where they do that at?
Yeah, he trying to be humble. There you go. Right. Disco been working on his temper this year. He told me when the year came in, he was gonna pipe it down. But yeah. See, right. Yeah. Right. He say they need it.
They need it.
Right. But
That's my wife.
that's your wife. But y'all, please mark it down because we're gonna continue to talk about it. But starting April 5th, we're gonna be going to a Monday night format. Gonna be bringing a whole new layout for y'all. Trying to find new ways to innovate the show and to get everybody involved, get more people involved. Please tell your friends about it. Please tell them to go to YouTube, subscribe at DISCO100 radio. And this the camp that he running over there too. Okay, this what we got going on. You gonna put both of them up there? Yeah, go on and put both of them. You ain't gotta look at Yeah, but that's what we talking about, y'all. Out there in the community. Please get involved. Wherever you at. I'm sure if Disco, you take volunteers, people come out to help you out. So if we get, what time you gonna be out there?
4 o'clock.
Okay, they coming out at 4. And this is in the Cobb County area, y'all. That anybody that's out here, come out and support these kids, man. We sit in here and talk about the generation and the little young boys and how they act. And here's an opportunity, to show up and just say, hey, you know what? I got this brother back, and we got your back.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's an opportunity for everybody. It ain't got to have your name on the flyer for you to help.
True.
So we gonna get past that. I appreciate everything. Elijah, you got anything else?
We've already said it. Revisit your why. Fix your why.
Right.
Know your why. And go at it.
Okay, we're good.
That's it.
All right. Well, thank y'all for joining us again this week. We will be back next Tuesday at 6 o'clock. April 5th, we're going to be going to Mondays, but next Tuesday at 6 o'clock, we'll be right here. The J.Gerrard Show, me, myself, J.Gerrard, Elijah James. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Peace.